Welcome back to the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show, brought to you by Salvatore's Pizza. With us now, the Brighton Bruins. They are lacrosse, and they're playing in the semifinals at 3 o'clock today at Canandaigua. Joining us, veteran coach Rich Curtis and a pair of seniors, Meghan Marangola, she's a midfielder, and Charlotte Sadler, she's a goalie. They were both on the team as freshmen that won the championship 2018. Coach Curtis, welcome back to the show. It's been a little while. Appreciate you coming on. What do you like about this team, Rich Curtis?
Well, I think this team has a lot of spunk to it. They had a lot to learn because the time that we had off last year, and I was sitting back and thinking, how many new starters do I have on this team that's never started for me? 9 kids that's never played on the field.
Wow.
We had a senior class last year that wasn't able to play. So we only had 3 returners, one being the goalie, obviously, with Charlotte. So there has been a lot of learning going on.
And that's unusual for not the learning part, but to have such a young team. Usually, you're like a good college coach to a degree. You always have a nice blend on the field. So, Charlotte, let me ask you, how fortunate do you feel just to be playing your senior season based on all that happened in the last 14 months?
I think we are just so excited, and I feel personally so fortunate. I mean, it's so awesome. I know, just our first practice, I think we were all thankful. This has been a great season, no matter the wins and losses. It's just been, exciting to be able to practice, be out on the field together, be back in our little bubble with our team again. It's really just meant so much since we didn't have it last year, and I think we were just all so excited to get into it this year.
You had 3 goals in the win over the win the other night, the 8-4 win over Irondequoit. Sectionals are different though, and especially with the team coach mentioned 9 new starters. As somebody who's been in those big games before and is a senior leader, what kind of things can you do to help your team play its best at the most important time of the year?
I think the most important thing is just to remember how we work together as a team. And I tell the team this, but all of the goals are team goals and all of the mistakes are team mistakes, and everything we do on the field, we all have to be responsible for. And I think that mentality really helped us in last night's game, and I think it's going to help us going forward.
Rich, you did play Canandaigua earlier in this year, maybe 6 weeks ago now on May 6th. They 14-4 win. What's changed in those 6 weeks for your team that, you go into tomorrow hoping to get the win and get back to the finals?
Well, we've probably moved 7 people in 7 different positions on the field. That was the part of the growing pains of this new team. You always think you know people, but when you've missed a year in between, my thought process of where players should play never really panned out exactly correct. We have moved probably 7 people around on our team. So we are not the same team. We do not play the same way. We don't even run the same offenses at this point. Everything had to change because we had to finally get a feel of who this team is. And let me tell you something, Steve, it's been a process. I've told these girls this has been a very difficult year for me. I've never really had to teach so much in such a short amount of time. Remember, our season didn't start till April 19th. And with only 2 practices to 3 a week, try to get everyone on the same page. But it has been tremendously rewarding as of just yesterday to see them come together and play just such a great game. But it's been a process.
Rich, as you speak, and I've talked to you many, many times for many, many years, you remind me a little bit of Gino Oriema. And that's a compliment. I hope you understand that because A, you're a winning coach, and B, you tell it like it is, and you don't sugarcoat things. And you're not afraid to admit that you had to move some pieces around. The furniture had to be moved around to make it look right in the room. Meghan, he's a very honest coach. And he and I have talked about this before. How do you take the feedback from Coach Curtis when he's honest with you about what you need to do to be successful?
I think, honestly, you just have to listen to what he says, and you have to apply it in your game. And even when you have a different opinion, some people play a different way in their club team than in their school team. But as a school team, you have to take the school team strategy and apply it in games. And Coach knows a lot about that, and he's won a lot of sectional championships. And you have to take the tone, whether it's on the field or during practice, and apply it as soon as you can. and work on it in games and in practice.
As a goalie, your view of the field is different. Not everything's in front of you because people can go behind the net. But talk about how you play your position and the role of communicating with your teammates, how important that is to success on defense, and what you have to do as a goalie and as a leader.
Well, I think it's definitely a huge part, communication. It's the biggest part of defense. It's the most team part of the game. If one person messes up, it costs you a goal. So I think me being able to see what's going on the defense and communicating as much as I can, it really helps lead the defense. And I think this year especially, we have a lot of young girls, like Curtis said, or girls who just haven't had a lot of time on varsity or a lot of starting experience. So I think me being a goalie and also Meghan's on the defense there too, we are both communicating a ton, trying to get the defense to do what they need to do and back each other up and play truly like a team defense like we are.
Coach Curtis, break it down for me. What's Canandaigua? What's the game plan? What are they good at that you need to combat?
Well, they have, obviously they're 14-2. They have, or 15-2 now. They have a lot of good players. They have some Division I players. For us, I just think we just need to go play our game, the new game that we play. We need to play good, calm, confident lacrosse, make some saves, and if things go our way at any time, try to figure it out and finish the game and see if we can get the win, because that's the deal. When you play games like this, they're so big and there's so much emotion in it. And for a lot of those girls, they figured that out last night. That game last night was about 3 times more emotional than any game that we've played, because now it's for real. When you lose, you go home. So you can hope you can get your team just to settle in, play smart, good lacrosse, and when there comes a crack in the armor, you try to take advantage of it.
Brighton's won 14 girls lacrosse championships since 1996. So you have a lot of tradition on your side. How important is it to you as a senior who has won a championship before to uphold the tradition and try to leave your own legacy?
I think it's very important. Being a part of that team freshman year was a dream come true, and it was an amazing season, and I'm so thankful that I had that experience. And it kind of cemented the Brighton legacy for Charlotte and I, and we now want to carry that forward. It's been a little bit since we've won a sectional title, and it's time to win another one. So.
Well, I almost did it. I almost said the old nickname. Well, Bruins, good luck to you. You never won a championship as a Bruins before, so there you go. There's some more incentive for you. Wish you the best of luck. Should be a fantastic game at Canandaigua, 3 o'clock on Saturday, which is today as you hear this on the radio. Meghan Marangola, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Thank you so much for having us.
And as always, Coach Curtis, go Titans.
All right, buddy. Go Bruins.
Bruins, right? Tennessee Titans. That's your team, right?
That is my team.
Okay, just checking. Hey, Steve Bradley, another great episode. Thanks for piloting the ship here without me in full capacity. And we'll begin our last show next week, folks, so make sure you don't miss it. Saluting the last some more champions in Section 5. Thanks for listening to the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show, brought to you by Salvatore's Pizza.